Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So it's been a while and I've been a bit busy. It's been Christmas, but today I will be talking about one of my favorite characters from Sex and the City, and that is Natasha. I think Natasha is very popular recently and probably also when it was airing as well, but I do see there's interest in Natasha as a character the more we dissect the show in later years. And I think it's for good reason. So I think in this video, I am going to dissect her. I'm going to talk a little bit about how she's a great character, how she is very different from Carrie. So first of all, we all know Natasha. She's the ex-wife of Mr. Big. She's the younger, the successful woman in his life that he marries. And when Carrie first finds that out, she's very much, destroyed or distraught, really. And she's very much heartbroken when she realizes what type of woman Natasha is. And I kind of want to go into who she is as a person because, number one, Natasha strikes me as a very classy woman. She's not only classy in her style, I love her style and how timeless it is, but just in her demeanor, her personality, her energy, it all just screams classy and mature. And I think that is incredible to see, especially since she's so young when we first meet her. I think she's 25, which I think is such a young age. You're really young, you haven't lived a lot yet, but she seems like a person that has really gotten to know herself and what she wants and who she is, which to have at that young age is a blessing, really. And I think that is one of the reasons why Carrie might feel so insecure around her, is because she's so self-assured in who she is. She accepts who she is and she knows who she is, and that can be really intimidating if you don't have that type of energy yourself. If you're really unsure or you don't know who you are, you're going to feel very, very uncomfortable with people that are actually confident and secure in who they are. And I do feel like that is something that Carrie experienced when she first met Natasha. And she just, as I said before, she just embodies this elegance and grace in every aspect of her life. Her demeanor is so polished. She's not a messy person in her behavior, and she's not dramatic, which is a huge contrast from a character like Carrie, who is so over the top, dramatic. But that's also one of the things why we might love her as a character too. She's very relatable. But when you put her against somebody like Natasha, you can see the contrast, and you can tell that she is very, put together. Even in very highly emotional situations, she knows how to keep her cool and be collected, which is highly attractive. And I do think that's one of the reasons why Big was so attracted to her as a woman, is because she was not driven so much by her emotions, but she actually was very calm, cool, and confident, and you would never see her sweat, which I think is a great trait to have. It's really hard to achieve and definitely takes years to really hone this skill. But Natasha just did that effortlessly, and I admire that as well with her. I think that's also one of my favorite traits of her. An example of this is when Natasha suspected Carrie of having an affair with Big. Natasha was very polite. She was civil. I remember that dinner scene when she was at the dinner and Carrie came up to her and was going to apologize. And I love the fact that Natasha didn't make a huge scene. She didn't try to argue with Carrie. She wasn't giving her that, over the top reaction to seeing Carrie. Instead, she was so calm and she put her in her place, really. She did it in such a calm and classy way that I was so admired with the way that she did that, because she really was holding Carrie accountable. She was not letting her feel good about herself. She made sure that she knew that she hurt her, but she did not do it in a dramatic way that made her seem like she was also messy. She did it so mature and effortlessly. And I think that was why Carrie was so surprised. She was stunned. She didn't know what to say back because she had never met a woman that was so put together in those tough moments like that. And I think that was amazing to see. So another thing I love with Natasha as a character in the show is that she knew she was the prize. She had self-respect and she was confident when she left Big as soon as she realized the marriage was over. She didn't try to stick around. I know she did try to stick around for a little bit because she was not sure 100%. But when she was, when she confronted Carrie, she was pretty much out of the door. She did not want to deal with Big anymore. She realized that even though he was older than her, he was so much more immature than she imagined, because he was not a mature person. He was not ready for marriage, and he was sneaking around with his ex-girlfriend Carrie, and she realized in that moment that she could not fix this man, and she packed up her bags and she left, as she should. And I think that's amazing. I think that's a great message to any woman out there, to not accept bare minimum, even if the man has is very successful like Big, very rich and all of that, and older and seems more sophisticated. He is not worth your time if he puts you in situations like this, which is so immature of him, and he's not sure about you, and he sneaks around and he's so immature. I don't think any woman deserves that. But unfortunately, if we lack a certain sense of self-respect, we do tend to allow people to treat us however they want to. And that's why I think Natasha is such a great character, because she did not allow that to happen to her. She knew what she had. She knew what she had to offer, and she realized that Big did not know that, and he didn't appreciate it. So she was like, bye, I'm gonna find somebody else. And she eventually did. I mean, if you see the show after, when they're older, I think it was called After Everything Happens. I don't know, I can't remember the exact name of the show, but it's set many years after Sex and the City. We meet Natasha again. They're older, and you see she's moved on with her life. She has a kid, she has married, she is doing great. You can tell, and even Carrie can tell that and admire that. And even years after, when Big has passed away, he still puts her in his will. He still gives her $1 million in the will, long after they had divorced and everything he had done to her. And I do think that gives us an indication of how much respect he had for Natasha. And I do think that respect comes from the fact that she did not accept that she was going to be treated the way that he treated her. And I always think of this as, I always say this, I think it's so much more important to be respected than to be liked. If people respect you, you'll feel good, because people are going to treat you the way that you deserve to be treated. And sometimes that means putting up boundaries that people don't like, and that should be a sacrifice we should make. And unfortunately, as women, we are taught to be liked all the time. We need to be liked. We're always thinking about this constantly, this need to be accepted and liked, and not be too much in that way that people find us unlikable. But I think that is such a dangerous mindset to have, because if you have to sacrifice your self-respect in order to be liked, I think that's so dangerous, because you're basically sacrificing yourself, and that's not worth anybody. You should always consider yourself a prize, such as Natasha, and I think it's beautiful that she does that right in this moment when she leaves him. So, and she also doesn't leave Big in a dramatic way, or makes it messy, or try to get revenge on Carrie. She doesn't obsess like Carrie constantly does. No, she just moves on, and she's like, okay, this situation didn't work, let me move on and find somebody that actually is willing to put up the work and be great to me, and I think that's beautiful. And another thing is, I love Natasha because she was so intelligent. She had a life before Big, and she had a life after Big. I mean, she worked for Ralph Lauren. She lived in Paris. She obviously came from a very wealthy family. So you could tell she already had this beautiful put together life before Big. She didn't need Big at all. Obviously, she was young, so we'll never understand why she married him or whatever. But I do think it's nice to see a character that is not only, young, but she's also has pursued her own goals. She is successful. She has her own life. She has her own pursuits. And which is a great message with that is, once you leave a relationship like someone like big, you know you can go back to a life that was yours. You don't have to be too scared to leave because you know you have beautiful things waiting for you afterwards. And I think that's probably one of the most important things I can give as an advice to anybody, especially young women, is create your own life. Create a life that makes you happy. Pursue your own goals. Find out who you truly are and what you enjoy to do, because once you discover all of these things, you'll create this beautiful life for yourself, so that if you meet somebody you eventually decide to settle down with and it doesn't work out, you won't be too scared to walk out the door because you know that there's a beautiful life waiting for you anyways. This was just, this person was just an added bonus to your already beautiful life. And leaving that person won't destroy you, and it won't feel like your whole life is over. You know you have this beautiful life waiting for you. And I think that's something Natasha definitely showed us. And I think that's something every woman out there should focus on herself, focus on making yourself happy. And you'll notice as well, which is ironic, is that other people are going to be also more attracted to you and would want to be in your life. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love dissecting Natasha. I love actually dissecting all of the Sex and the City characters. So if there's anybody else you want me to dissect or look into, definitely let me know down below in the comments. And before I leave, I just want to say Merry Christmas to everyone out there. I hope you have a great holiday with your friends, your family, your loved ones. And I'm so thankful for each and every one of you. You've made this year so beautiful to me, and I'm so appreciative to all of you. And I can't wait to go into the next year with you guys with new ideas and videos. And yeah, and I really, really appreciate you guys. So take care. Make sure to also comment, like, subscribe, and share as the usual. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye.